let's talk about this question because I keep seeing it all over the alligator Alcatraz video I made yesterday. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you check that out. Here's the deal. They did allude to the fact that alligator Alcatraz was closed, but this is truly a great example of how the news cycle works. And once something falls out of the news cycle, no one pays attention to it anymore, which is why independent journalism is so important. At the end of August, we saw in the news cycle this. This felt like a final end to a terrible and inhumane situation. We saw headlines like this one out of the BBC saying that alligator Alcatraz was being emptied of detainees. Once headlines like that and the articles associated with them are published, the mainstream media thinks to themselves, well, we kind of put that story to bed. That was the end. Let's move on. And then they go chasing the next big thing, making sure that they are the first to publish the breaking news, that they are speaking in such an engaging way that they get more clicks, likes, and views and subscriptions and all of that. That's how the mainstream media works. But the independent journalists, they don't stop. See, this is from the Florida Phoenix, as you can see from October of this year. And this headline reads, "Dragging its feet, alligator Alcatraz appeal passed due to government shutdown. Here are the details." Friends of the Everglades, the Center for Biodiversity, and the Miccosukee, I hope I'm saying that right, tribe filed a suit over the summer alleging the detention center violates federal environmental laws, which, hello, yeah, it does. What happened was a district judge agreed ordering Florida to shut down the center by September's end, but a federal three-judge panel, all of whom have ties to Ron DeSantis, the extremely MAGA-centered governor of Florida, on September 4th. They reversed it, noting that because the site had not received federal dollars and was entirely state-run, federal environmental regulations don't apply. So they drag their feet, they go back and forth in court. The judges that are on the bench are aligned with Ron DeSantis, who is up Trump's butt. Then what happens is the government shuts down. Now we've reached the government shutdown, and the Trump administration requested a legal indefinite pause until the government could reopen. This is because their lawyers were associated with the government and they argued that they were essentially government workers who were not allowed to work during that shutdown. Then, of course, this story breaks after the government shutdown is over, and everyone's really confused because they're like, well, we thought that alligator Alcatraz was closed, or at the very least, all of the detainees had been put somewhere else. No, this is a failure by the mainstream media because they're too worried about their dollars and cents. This is the power of independent journalism. You gotta go looking for it, though. That's the hard part.